Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check. All right, we're good. All right, yo, what is up? What is going on, guys? Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. Friday the 13th, by the way, if you believe in that sort of thing. Friday the 13th. Crazy. Again, hope you're all doing well. Got a lot to talk about, obviously, here on a Friday, as we're about 31 hours away from kickoff now. South Carolina taking on Ole Miss. Podcast dropped this morning. I gave my prediction. Would love to hear you guys' predictions. I'll open up the phone lines as well, 843-790-3377. Would love to hear you guys' thoughts, predictions, everything else. Rumors continue to swirl in regards to the Will Muschamp saga, if you will, and just what is going on behind closed doors. So that's also a talking point for sure. But, yeah, whatever you guys want to get into here on a Friday. Obviously, the Masters is still going on right now, which you guys know I'm excited about, obviously. So if you do want to talk golf, we can always talk golf. So anyways, yeah, hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah, I'll dive into my score prediction in just a second. Like I said, 843-790-3377 if you guys do want to call in on a Friday. Again, podcast dropped this morning, episode 317, and I really dive into my prediction and the whys behind it and what I think will happen. But in case you guys didn't miss it, and I'll be dropping a graphic later as well on social media with my prediction and all that good stuff. But I've got Ole Miss winning the football game 41-27. I just think at the end of the day, you take a look at this game. I hate the matchup for South Carolina. I really, really do hate the matchup for South Carolina. I expect the Gamecocks offense to certainly, have some success. I mean, no doubt. I expect them to have a little bit of success for sure. You would certainly hope so. I think Kevin Harris gets going once again. Ole Miss has been terrible in defending the run. They've been absolutely awful in defending the run. So I think Kevin Harris gets going. South Carolina will try to shorten the game. But listen, I don't care if it's Ryan Helinski, if it's Colin Hill. I know it's Ole Miss and their defense is terrible, but I look at Ole Miss's offense. And like I said this on the prediction video I put out this morning, and I said it on the podcast, and I'll say it again. I've been saying all season, we have good players. We have talented players, all that good stuff, especially on the defensive side. And there's a disconnect. And you keep believing we have good players. And I think we do. I still think we do. But at some point, you have to stop thinking with your heart and making predictions with your heart and just start using your eyes and your brain and what that's telling you. And what it's telling me is we're not a very good football team, especially defensively. Like, we're not very good. We have some really good individual players, don't get me wrong, but as an entire unit, as a team, we're not good. So I don't know why anyone would expect South Carolina's defense all of a sudden to come into this game and have some great performance. So I think South Carolina will struggle mightily defensively. I think Ole Miss has a ton of success. Can South Carolina win in the red zone at all? If they can't, I think this thing gets out of hand. But I just don't think South Carolina has the weapons to keep up. Like, it will be a fairly high-scoring game. These offenses will exchange blows for sure, but I just don't think South Carolina in the long run is going to have the offensive firepower to keep up with Ole Miss. I mean, again, you would like to think this is the game to get other guys going. This is the game to get other wide receivers and other weapons on the outside, but guys, we're in game 7. Like, this team is who it is. You know what I mean? This team is who it is. So why would you expect anything different? So, again, I've got Ole Miss 41-27, which would have Ole Miss covering the 10.5-point spread. And, from there, Will Muschamp's future would certainly hang in the balance. So, again, I'd love to hear your predictions, your thoughts on my prediction. Do you guys agree, disagree, whatever? Lance Player, what's up, man? You had to pull this hat out. Fresh Hat Friday, guys. By the way, if you did not see the quote behind me, it might be hard to read. But, man, Steve Spurrier, which I'm going to take a picture of this and post it on Twitter. Coach Spurrier, legend. And I just saw this quote this morning, and I just loved it. And so Let me see. You guys can see here, it says, I'm not one to say no comment whether I'm right or wrong, but especially if I'm right. So I just thought that was very, very fitting and an awesome comment for sure. Steve Spurrier, obviously the GOAT, the legend. Phil Carter, Carolina fan, more scary than Jason is the SEC shorts. Documented Andrew Seymour. This team is all but given up. Repeat of last season. Ole Miss hangs 50. Shannon DeWitt says she hopes Bryson wins the Masters. Yeah, he had a rough day. He had a rough day yesterday. Andrew Bowers, appreciate the love. Mia Elmore, why does South Carolina not get Xavier Legette more involved in the offense? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that, really. So, Lance Player, yeah, Louis got a legend. He gave me this shirt last year and thought I'd rep it here on a Friday. So, Hunter Brown, how bad of a look would it be in year 5 if Muschamp lost 2 games in a row to first-year head coaches? I mean, it'd be a bad look. I mean, the fact you're a 10.5-point underdog is a bad look. So, Adam Ritter, your thoughts on Coach Boom's comments last night? I mean, nothing crazy, nothing wild to take away or anything. I didn't draw any crazy conclusions or anything from what he said. So, just kind of is just typical Muschamp. Crazy. There was only one call in the Muschamp call-in show, the entire hour. You can't tell me that was not on purpose. So I will tell you this, because Philip Carter Harris says, y'all keep saying that if this or that happens, the Muschamp is gone for 2 weeks. Dude is still here. I wonder if regardless if we lose out, if he's going anywhere. I will tell you this, again, it's all hearsay, it's all rumors, but I've got a buddy of mine that is very, very close to the South Carolina football program, and I trust his word, what he says. He literally texted me last night and said, quote, the vultures are circling. It is just a matter of time. And he believes that if we lose, if South Carolina loses to Ole Miss, he is gone. And like I said, guys, at this point, there's just been so many rumors. So many. Like, where there's smoke, even if most of the rumors aren't true, there's just so many. Like, it feels inevitable. If you keep losing, it feels inevitable for sure. So, and then you got rumors of donors saying they're not going to give money anymore. And when that starts happening, that's really when the changes get made, because if you get hit in the wallet, it's not going to be okay. So that's when the changes really start to get made. And I think that's what you might see. So I don't know if it'll happen at end of year or Monday after you lose to Ole Miss, but I think if you lose to Ole Miss, that might just be the final nail in the coffin. I mean, really. I mean, how many more nails in the coffin do you need? Andrew Bowers, chance we get Billy Napier or Jamie Chadwell if Champ gets fired either after this game or the season. Yeah, so I think Billy Napier, from what I've heard, is the lead guy right now. I've heard he's probably the lead candidate. Chris Snead, I think it's going to be more of a 42-20 kind of game. I just don't see us being able to score consistently with no one to throw the ball to other than Shi Smith. We can't compete in a shootout with anyone right now. And like, honestly, guys, I feel like my score prediction of 41-27 was being kind of nice. I felt like I was being sort of nice. I want to believe that South Carolina gets something going offensively against this atrocious Ole Miss defense. But yeah, like I told you guys, I don't think South Carolina is built to win a shootout. Like, they're just not built that way. Like, I think this game is going to resemble the LSU game very, very similarly. I think it's going to be very similar to the LSU game. No question. I really, really do. South Carolina is just not built to win those type of games. They're just not. They're just not. So if Carolina's getting into obvious passing situations and gets down, God forbid, 2 or 3 score, has to throw the football, it's going to get ugly. I really think so. Hunter Brown, if any other team in the SEC was in this position, maybe other than Vandy, then Champ would have already been gone. You're probably right. So Rodney Creel, it's a terrible place to be as a fan. I always want the W for the players and as a fan, but for the future of the program, I almost hope for a blowout loss. I hate feeling that way, but it is what it is. And trust me, I 110% feel you. I really do. I mean, because again, when toe meets leather tomorrow night at 7:30, I'm a fan. I'm going to be pulling for the Gamecocks to get the W. But I mean, I either hope we win or get absolutely killed. I hope it's one or the other. I think the common fan, because I think, and this is why I haven't gone vocally on with this take on social media, because I think the common fan cannot sit down and dissect those comments critically. But it's like, yes, we're all pulling for the Gamecocks to win, but guys, low key, like a loss and getting a new coach is what's best for this program long term. It's short-term loss for a long-term gain. I mean, I don't think it makes you a bad fan to say, you know what, if we lose, I'm not going to be that upset because maybe our program will get better. That's all I'll say. So like I said, I'm going in this game the same way I went to last weekend. Hey, cheers to either a Gamecocks victory or getting one step closer to a new head coach. That's the best way to go about it. Andrew Bowers also, I think we put up maybe 200-plus yards to offense if Ole Miss defense is that bad. Hopefully our offense doesn't make them look like the best in the SEC. I mean, dude, they're giving up 215 yards per game rushing. We should be able to run the football. We should be able to move the football. Will we? I don't know, but we should be able to do so. So, Bill Carter-Harris, I wonder if the Hugh Freeze contract extension at Liberty is a direct result of the rumor that he was talking to Tanner in the athletics department. Yeah, I think it's a direct result in the fact that they just know that he would be a hot name, a hot commodity in regards to being a head coach in the SEC. So, but it still doesn't mean he couldn't get hired away. I mean, I think if somebody wants him, they're going to pay him and get him. So, yeah. RJ, regardless if we win or not, do you think Harris and Fenwick have a good night on the ground? Yeah, I mean, I think they should. I think as long as we don't get into a situation where we abandon the run, and that's if we get down 2-3 scores like we did against LSU, yeah, I'd expect both those guys to have good nights. I mean, why wouldn't you? Again, this is a soft Ole Miss defensive front. I've highlighted Sam Williams a couple of times. I think he's a really good player in regards to the pass rush. Got 6 sacks on the year, but you should be able to run the football, I think. Be able. So, but again, guys, would love to hear what are your predictions? What are your predictions for tomorrow's game? Again, I've got 41-27. I've got 41-27 Ole Miss getting the win. What are your predictions? How are you feeling about the game? I'll be honest with you. I wish I was more positive. I wish I was more optimistic, but I have none of it left. I have none left. I have no optimism to give going in this football game. Just none. I mean, I can't sit here and lie to you and say that I'm feeling, I think anybody who's going in this game saying they feel good about it or picking Carolina to win, you're just a diehard Carolina. And it's fine. I'm not knocking you, but you're just a diehard Gamecock fan that has the garnet glasses on that can't see beyond them. I mean, that's just – Harris says 41-35 Ole Miss. Dusty Rose so sad I'm not thrilled at any of the coach options, but knowing anything better than what we currently have, I mean, Dan. Matthew Isaac says 35-13 Ole Miss. Boy, I think that's the type of score – that will get Will Muschamp fired, no question. And then this one too, Glenn Shore, 45-17 Ole Miss, like you said, take the under. Yeah, again, any scores like that. I mean, hell, I think if Ole Miss covers the spread, I mean, I just think if you lose, period, it'll be bad. But if Ole Miss covers the spread, man, I don't see how. I don't see how Muschamp makes it to the Missouri game. I just don't. So, Marion R26, 48-28 Rebels. Again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in here on a Friday, taking your calls, questions, comments, 843-790-3377. If you do want to call in, 843-790-3377. Talking South Carolina, Ole Miss. My prediction's out 41-27. Podcast drop this morning if you want to hear more about that. Also, again, of course, we can talk about it here. Quick reminder, watch party tomorrow. If you're in the city, you're looking for a spot to watch the game. Overtime Bar and Grill is the spot. Kickoff at 7:30. Doors actually open at 11. So if you want to get there early, watch football, you can. But I'll be doing my pregame show 6:30 to 7. 6:30 to 7. Kickoff at 7:30. Josh Seeger leaving the Facebook platform tonight at 9. I hope I can find you on another platform. Yes, I mean, Spurs Up shows literally everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. I mean, so if you got any of those, you're golden. The website as well, thespursupshow.com. So Yeah, we're very much beyond Facebook, my friend. Absolutely. So, but yeah, like I said, taking your questions, comments, calls. Let's talk about it. South Carolina, Ole Miss. I just go in this game. I don't think South Carolina has the firepower to keep up with Ole Miss, and I don't think this Gamecocks football team. I don't think South Carolina is built to win a shootout. I don't think that's a bold statement at all. I mean, I just, I don't care which defense you're playing. I know Ole Miss is atrocious defensively, but who does South Carolina have offensively that's going to take advantage of that? Maybe Shi Smith has a huge game, whatever, but outside of him, at some point you have to go to somebody else. So, let's see. Andrew Bowers, everyone is saying after Muschamp comments last night that it'll probably be Hill going out there. I'm hoping it's Ryan, but as long as we compete and win, I don't care who's out there. Yeah, I don't know at this point. I really don't. I have no idea. I don't know. I just figure if you're going to start Ryan, why wouldn't you get that out there and bring sort of a jolt of energy to the fan base and the team and everybody? I don't know. I don't get that. I'm not saying it'll make a difference either. I really don't think so. I really don't think it will, but DJ just missed a close putt. Savannah Webster, what's going on? Happy Friday. RJ says, I'd hate to see the score if we're playing Clemson this year. Yeah, it'd be ugly. It'd be very ugly. Jaden Harris, I think this will be the game Jalen Brooks gets going. You say so. If you say so, man. Joanne, look for a big game out of Muse and Van. Will do. Fenwick too. Hey, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Seriously. I think South Carolina will do some good things offensively. I'm not trying to say that they won't do some good things offensively. But again, I just don't think the Gamecocks are going to have enough to keep up with Ole Miss. I mean, guys, I'll give you this to you. Over under 2.5. Over under 2.5 punts for Ole Miss. You forced 4 punts the last 3 games. How many punts does Ole Miss have? I'd probably take the under. I really would. I mean, why would you take the over? I mean, honestly. Savannah Webster, let's try something. Even if it doesn't work, show you were open to change, and we can say we tried. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't understand it. I can't believe it. It's wild. It's wild. Phil Carter Harris, Ryan and Doty at quarterback tomorrow night. I can't bring Colin Hill out there at this point, but I'm telling you, man, I would not be shocked if Colin Hill starts the football game. Would not shock me in the slightest. RJ, maybe we should just put Joyner at quarterback and a triple option offense through the lack of receivers to throw to. I mean, dude, honestly, at this point, that's a better option than what we're doing right now. So, I don't know, man. But it all comes back to the defense. The problems with the defense, again, disconnect in regards to the talent you have on defense, and you feel like you have good players. You certainly have good individual players. There's no doubt. Heck, you got a first round corner, and you got another corner that probably top 2 or 3 rounds. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls as well. 843-790-3377. You guys want to call in, give your predictions, talk some shop. Be more than happy to do that. A lot to get into here on a Friday. Also, the match going on. You want to talk some golf. We are into round 2. Dustin Johnson leading the way at 8 under par. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun for sure. A lot of guys that haven't even teed off yet. So, let's see. Andrew Bowers, Muschamp after announcing the quarterback for the game. Hill just gives us the best chance to win the game, so he is the quarterback fan. If he is the quarterback, fans will be lit. Yeah, the fan base will erupt. I mean, the fan base will go nuts if Colin Hill is the starter yet again. Jaden Harris, over under Kevin Harris, 150 rushing yards. I want to say over because I think he can certainly get there. I'll say over. I'll give Kevin Harris the benefit of the doubt. I think he has a good game. So, Phil Carter Harris, Bobo has had his time to shine as a head coach at Colorado State and failed. We used our failed head coach, Carl Muschamp. Look how this turned out. No more chance to guys that didn't get it done. No, yeah, I wouldn't be a fan of Bobo getting hired. I would not be a fan of that. So, would not be a fan of that at all. Savannah Webster, is a bad season motivation or more reason for players to try combine or transfer? I mean, I don't know. I mean, then you also, but does the fact they can come back and there's no penalty on their eligibility, does that outweigh that? I mean, I think it just goes on a player-by-player basis. If they've got a really good chance to go in the draft and they get a good grade, then those guys will make that decision. But I don't think, I mean, if there's, I'll tell you this. If there's a coaching change, yeah, that'll certainly affect it. Some guys just might say, screw it. Look at CapCut 4 under. Oh, shit, he overcut it. I think he overcut it. He's okay, though. Andrew Seymour said it his entire tenure here. Muschamp's a good ass kisser, and his defensive guru rep is mostly because of the legends he's coached under and a good DC with Durkin at Florida. I mean, you can't really argue there, my guy. Joe Anders, obviously they have their back against the wall, but it's a winnable game. Ole Miss is nothing special, and they are way overdue to hit on a defensive game plan. Better matchup for Carolina, Ole Miss, or UGA? I would definitely say UGA, no doubt. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't have the optimism you do. I'm not saying Ole Miss is world beaters, but again, at some point, you have to look at this team and just be totally 110% honest with yourself. And the honest truth is we're not very good. We're not very good. We're not good defensively. We're extremely painfully inconsistent offensively. I mean, if South Carolina's defense holds Ole Miss to under 40 points, I'd be very surprised. I'll tell you this: if they hold them under 35, I'd be shocked. Be totally shocked. So, Andrew Bowers, another thing. Matt Corral's a good quarterback, but he also makes mistakes, so he can make another mistake and throw some INTs. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, who knows? You never know. That's why they play the game. That's why they play the game, guys. No doubt. That's why they play the games. So, like I said, I think this is a really good group of individuals. I think there are some really good individual players, but as a unit, something's missing. You know what I mean? There's a disconnect somewhere. And I think we all kind of have an idea where it is. So, you're Jones, my guy. What's up, man? Gamecock legend. What's going on? Gamecock legend. Jaden Harris, on a positive note, Carolina women's basketball is ranked. Yeah, they're ranked number 1. So, Don Staley's got the thing rolling, man. It's not even anything to worry about, to be totally honest with you. We Carolina's got it rolling. So, very excited about that. Ooh, man. Got a case of the yawns. Tim Fulbright on defense. Do you believe it's the scheme, playing off of the receivers, no pressure, or just horrible preparation and coaching, or both? A little bit of everything probably you just mentioned. I mean, I think it falls back on the coaching. I think it falls back on the scheme, the preparation for sure. I mean, it has to, because look at the guys you have. Like, you should be better. There's just no excuse. You should be better. Andrew Bowers, what team do you think picks J.C. Horn in the draft? It's tough to say what team. But I think he's probably a first rounder at this point. So, RJ, hopefully Corral throws the Horn every chance he gets. That matchup between Elijah Moore and J.C. Horn is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a really, really good one. So, Joe Anders, how do you feel about this men's hoops team? Feel really good. I'm excited for basketball. I really am. I'm excited for both men's and women's. But, yeah, Frank Martin squad. I mean, best team since they went to the Final Four in 2017. This should be an NCAA tournament team, no question. So, I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped for basketball season. Today's the 13th. I'll be diving into my basketball season preview show the week of the first game, which the first game is an exhibition on the 25th. I will probably drop my basketball season preview on that day. That morning. That'll be the podcast. It'll be the season preview, because South Carolina has that exhibition Wednesday, and then the real games get going that week on the 28th and 29th. South Carolina's in a tournament that weekend. So yeah, the basketball preview will come that week. But I mean, I'm fired up, man. I like the team. I like the depth. You know, so yeah, I think this should be a really good team. So SEC football too. Let's just get this butt whooping over with so Muschamp can get out. Attaboy. Phil Carter Harris, love to see Dawn on Marty and McGee on Wednesday. So glad Carolina brought her in those many years ago. I agree. Savannah Webster, who are we playing on the 20th? So they haven't announced it yet. Frank Martin indicated it will be an in-state team, but it's an exhibition. So I'm assuming it will be a smaller in-state school. So that they actually have not finalized or announced it officially yet, I guess. RJ, honestly think no matter how bad the rest of these games go, Muschamp makes it to the end. We'll see. I mean, maybe you're right. You might be right. So, Hunter Brown, is it a full schedule or SEC only? It is a full schedule. It is a full schedule. So, South Carolina released the non-conference schedule a few days ago. The Gamecocks play Northwestern on the 28th. They'll play either TCU or Tulsa on the 29th because of tournament play. December 5th at Houston, December 10th against Wofford, the 14th against George Washington, or at George Washington, the 19th against Clemson, 23rd against South Carolina State, and then January 2nd against Florida A&M, and then you get into conference play. So, yeah, it's a full schedule. It is a full schedule. Philip Carter Harris, men's basketball picked to finish 8th. Is that a fair assessment? We're saying tournament or bust. Where's the disconnect? Yeah, I think it just comes back to, man, that you know, South Carolina doesn't have great basketball tradition, and I think that means a lot to people when they're picking. So, yeah, I think it's kind of low. I do think it's kind of low, but again, it's kind of one of those prove it things, you know, because I'll be honest, I've been saying for the last 2 years that South Carolina's had good teams that I thought were tournament bound. So I think it's more like go do it. You know what I mean? Like go do it. We're it long enough. Go do it. So again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls here Friday. Show dropped this morning. You guys want to check that out. Fired up to be talking to you guys, though, here on a Friday. A lot to get into, obviously. Talking mostly the Ole Miss game. Obviously, Will Muschamp, hot topic of discussion. So, whatever you guys want to talk about. Savannah Webster, do you think the extension of Freeze could be enough for us to not get him with all the concerns about money due to COVID? I mean, possibly. If you really want him, though, you're opening up the checkbook. So, yeah, happy Friday the 13th, indeed. No doubt. Hunter Brown does not sound like a tough non-conference schedule. Well, I would bite my tongue, my friend, because South Carolina's had trouble in the non-conference before with Stetson, Boston. So, don't take any team lightly. That's all I'm saying. Justin Bell, what is up, man? How you doing? Yep. So again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377, 843-790-3377 here on a Friday. Very pumped, like I said, to be talking to you guys here on a Friday. What are your score predictions? I'd love to hear. How do you feel about the game tomorrow? I've already put mine out, 41-27 Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss does get the win. I think they cover the spread. What are you guys feeling? What are your score predictions? Phil Carter Harris, Hugh Freeze will cost a fortune, has so much baggage. Jamie Chadwell, on the other hand, ... I will tell you guys from the things I've seen and heard, it sounds like Billy Napier is probably the lead guy as of right now. So take that for what it's worth. Who knows? I mean, Muschamp's not fired yet, but that is the lead candidate, I believe. SEC football, too. I think the women's basketball team makes the Natty and the men's can reach the tournament. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I don't know why you'd pick against Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks to make the national championship and probably win it. I mean, they've earned that right in regards to being the favorites. So, Greg Bedinger says Ole Miss 38-30. Andrew Bowers, didn't we lose to Western Michigan last year? Whoever that was at the beginning of the season. It was Boston. We didn't lose to Western Michigan. Boston and Stetson were the two bad losses last year. And the year before, we lost to Wyoming. I remember that was awful. Sven Webster, I'm nervous. I want to say we win, but I've lost hope. Yeah, I haven't. I mean, if you can get a few turnovers off of Ole Miss, maybe I just genuinely, guys, I just have no there's not ounce of optimism left. I mean, and can you blame me? I mean, you go to Baton Rouge, I literally go to Baton Rouge, get your teeth kicked in, and then last week the embarrassment that was. I mean, I've just all of my hopes have been evaporated. So, Savannah Webster, any key injuries on either side? Not that I'm familiar with. I mean, it sounds like everybody's good to go. So nothing I think that'll impact the game. I know that I think Jamar Brown is still out for sure, but Muschamp said that Roderick and Shiloh Sanders would be back for this game, which is obviously good news. So now I think everybody's good to go. I mean, I'm not 110% sure on the Ole Miss side, but after looking at them, I've heard nothing that they have any key guys out. RJ, I say Harris has a career night rushing close to 200 yards, a couple of scores, even in a losing effort. I mean, it could happen. Again, Ole Miss is very soft defensively. I think we need to, no matter how the game goes, commit to the run, stick to it. You can expose them in the running game, and I think it's just a bad idea, no matter who's behind center, to ask them to go out there and throw it 40, 50 times and try to win it that way. I think that's a recipe for disaster. Phil Carter Harris, I feel more confident than before the Texas A&M game. I wouldn't be shocked if the players ball out for their boy Muschamp. Again, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't have any optimism. I hate to say that because I'm an optimistic guy in just daily life and everything. But as far as this football team, I don't know. Maybe they do, though. I'd expect this team to come out and play it inspired. If they love Muschamp the way they say they do, they take a bullet for him, all this stuff, you would think they're going to come out inspired and fired up and ready to play their best game. I just think when you look at this game on the actual field and you look at the matchups, I don't know how South Carolina can keep up with Ole Miss, and I just don't think the Gamecocks are built to do that. I don't think they're built to play a game like that. Savannah Webster, how did we feel about Foster last week? He was okay. He was all right. SEC football team, here's some good news. Matt Corral has 9 interceptions. I think we get some turnovers tomorrow, and that's what truly saves us from a blowout loss. And that could lead you to a win. And if you can take advantage, one of my big keys to the game, bend but don't break. If you can win in the red zone, hold them to field goals instead of touchdowns, that maybe can do it for you. You know what I mean? That's going to give you a chance. So, and you're going to have to do that. I think if you can't win red zone, you can't be stingy in the red zone. It'll get out of hand. So, it'll get out of hand. Savannah Webster, Foster, or Roderick? Oh, man. That's tough. I don't know. Neither? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. That's tough. That's honestly tough. I'll go Roderick on. I know that sounds crazy, but I'd rather go Roderick. How about Justin Thomas at 8 under now? How about that? How about JT at 8 under? Yeah, if you guys want to talk Masters, by the way, we can talk Masters. If anybody cares to talk some golf. So, again, taking your questions, calls 843-790-3377. Guys, if you have not checked out the podcast, dropped this morning, episode 317. 317 episodes. So, really, really good stuff. And, guys, also want to say thank you so much for the love, support, sharing the content, consuming the content. It means the world. It means more than I can say. So business is going great right now. Things, I think everything as far as I know the season, as far as on the field, definitely has not gone the way we all want. But in regards to content and the business and all that stuff, I truly appreciate it. So I truly, truly do appreciate it. I do have a quick question for you guys. I've seen some people complaining about the ads and stuff like that on the podcast, which the ads are what makes the machine go, whether you realize that or not. But would you guys be interested in ad-free shows on the Patreon page? Ad-free shows. SEC football team, I'm not one of those guys saying South Carolina has no chance, but I'm also not one of those guys that will tell you our defense is in a good position for this game. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we have no chance at all. I mean, Ole Miss is not Alabama. This isn't like a world beater we're playing. But realistically, I'm not expecting to see something that is different from what I've seen all year. You know what I mean? I have no reason to believe we're going to go out there and have this fantastic defensive game plan, and we're going to throw a shutout against Ole Miss, or we're going to have our best game of the season defensively. There's just no reason to believe that. Now, if Matt Corral tries to pick on J.C. Horn and maybe you get a few picks that way, or Israel McClamu has a big game, sure, it's certainly possible. But when you have to feel like when you're going into a game and you're banking on things out of the ordinary to happen to get a win, that is a bad sign, in my opinion. So, Savannah Webster, yes, I'm also glad we do not play Alabama this year. I'm also very glad. Phil Carter Harris says, Will, we know you're watching. Take the ski mask off and earn that $4 million. $4 million this Saturday. Oh, my goodness. Savannah Webster, who is Izzy matched up with? I'm sure he'll be on Elijah Moore a little bit, but they've got other weapons on the outside as well. I'm having a brain fart, but the other guy that I was thinking about, they've got weapons on the outside, so Izzy will have enough to keep him busy for sure. We're gonna go to the phone lines here really quickly. Yo, John, what's up, man?
Hey, Chris, are we live?
We are live. Yes, sir. What's up?
Hey, I have two questions for you.
Right.
First, it's looking more and more like Napier's going to be the guy. So I want to hear your thoughts. You know, he's a young guy. He's 41.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of ties to South Carolina. He used to coach at Clemson. He played at Furman. I think he coached at SC State.
Mm-hmm.
But he's only been a head coach for 3 years. Talk about, what are your thoughts on, could he be the guy for us if it boils down to that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind South Carolina taking a flyer on a guy like that. I think, honestly, here's the thing, and I said this earlier in the week, this is the perfect opportunity, I think, dude, for South Carolina to roll the dice. Because when you really think about it, just ask yourself, is there a candidate out there we could hire that would be a worse hire than Will Muschamp was? I really don't think so. As far as, previous track record, I really don't think so. And obviously with a guy like Napier, the thing, he definitely has ties to the area. I'm glad he's not a Sabanite. He's not like one of those dudes, but he definitely has ties to the Southeast and the state of South Carolina. And, I guess we wouldn't hold it against him to coach to Clemson or whatever. But anyways, he has big time experience, and him being at a school like Louisiana and winning there. I'm looking at his record right now. He went 7-7 his first year in 2018. Then last year went 11-3. And this year they're 6-1. So, to me, what it screams is when you can take that talent and convert it to wins. And again, I know he's not, playing SEC talent and all that stuff, but when you can take that talent and get the most out of it, it has to make you feel good as far as, well, what can he do with SEC talent? So that's the thing I like. And like I said, I think this is the perfect time for South Carolina. If you're going to take a flyer on a guy, if you're going to roll the dice, this is the perfect time to do it. But yeah, like you said, man, young guy, he's 41, offensive-minded coach. He fits the pedigree of what I'd be open to. Again, like you said, he played at Furman, which is very interesting. But I'd be open to it. I would not be, I would not be upset with that hire at all. So,
yeah, I think it'd be the first time in a while that we don't hire an ex-head coach.
Right. It'd be nice to get a guy in South Carolina that you feel like could maybe make South Carolina his own.
If we're stealing him away from somebody, we haven't done that in a while.
Right.
You got Muschamp was fired from Florida.
Yeah.
Spurrier was done at Florida and came over to us. So it's like, I'd rather steal somebody and have another team losing a good guy than us feel like we're settling for. Not saying Spurrier was a settle, but you know what I mean.
Right. No, no. It's nice. It will be nice to go with a coach that's not a washout from somewhere else. And I'm not trying to call Spurrier a washout. Yeah, we all kind of get what we're pointing at. Just get a. Again, I hate to compare it to the whole Clemson thing, as far as because not everybody Clemson got really lucky that Dabo worked out. Let's just call it what it is. That was a diamond in the rough, 1 in a million type hire, and he just happened to turn out to be arguably the best coach in college football. So not everybody's going to turn out that way, but you look at what Clemson did, it worked. Why not? I just say why not?
Yeah.
Why not take the why not take the risk? That was kind of the same argument. I've grown more and more to like the thought of Jamie Chadwell. Like, I thought the same thing. Like, if you want to, I have no issues, because that's been the biggest thing. You know, I mean, of course, you remember last year, John, what was just crazy with social media. I kind of went rogue with the fire Muschamp. People were like, you know, you got to give him 6, 7, however many years to build. And I'm like, dude, I have no problem. If you want to give Billy Napier 10 years here, I have no issue with that. But it's just a simple fact that Will Muschamp doesn't deserve that long. I'll give the next guy as long as you want. I mean, as long as we're showing progress, like, sure. But, you know, you got to be doing that. So it's I'll tell you, man, too, it's just on another note. It's crazy how all this has evolved. Because, you know, I mean, after we beat Auburn, obviously I went to Baton Rouge. And I mean, you know, I certainly knew South Carolina could lose that football game. But, man, for it to be at the point it's at now, you've gotten outscored, 100-27 your last 2 games. It's just, I mean, it's hard to believe. I mean, imagine if Carolina lost the Auburn game. I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's just crazy where you're at. So,
yeah, good stuff. Question number 2. So, if we beat Ole Miss this weekend, do you light up a victory cigar? And if you do it, is it the most exciting of the year, or is it just absolutely depressing?
I'm probably not going to light a cigar. No, no, absolutely not. I mean, listen, I'll be happy, you know, because that's the biggest thing. Is, like I said, my attitude going into every week is either cheers to a Gamecocks victory or getting one step closer to a new head coach. For the players' sake, I want to win, because losing is miserable. Like, my freshman year at Newberry, we were terrible. Like, the baseball team I was on, we were awful. Like, losing sucks. No matter what way you spin it, it sucks. So, like, I don't wish that on the players. But, I mean, again, we talked, and, I mean, I probably wouldn't go on social media or make a clip about this and boast this loudly, you know what. But I think if people think about it critically, again, if you were to tell me a loss to Ole Miss would get you a new head coach, it's a short-term loss for a long-term gain. You know, so again, that's just the outlook I'm taking. Hey, I'm pulling for us to win. When toe meets leather at 7:30, we're all Gamecocks. We bleed garnet and black. We won't see our team win. So, hey, cheers to a Carolina victory. But you know what? If we lose and we get a new head coach, it's what needed to happen. Bottom line. So, you know, we're on to greener pastures. So it's just kind of the way I'm looking at it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, good talking to you. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, man. John, I'll hit you up, man. Appreciate it. Later. Good stuff. Like I said, guys, you want to call in 843-790-3377. Let's see. Andrew Bowers Dabo hired great recruiters when he finally got the talent in there and he got the right coaches behind him. That's how he started winning. Also, they don't play anybody. Josh Devaney, how does Ray Tanner keep his job? The guy hasn't made a great hire yet. Well, because here's the thing. I think that if you can't hire a new head coach if you don't have an AD. And so if you fire your AD, that's going to be a process. And people want to know who they're working for. So it's going to be hard and basically impossible to hire a head coach when you don't have an athletics director in place. So if you're asking me, Chris, should we wait another year to hire a new head coach and let's get rid of Tanner in the process, or hire a new head coach right now and keep Tanner in place? I say hire a new head coach right now and keep Tanner in place. I know people aren't fans of Tanner. I don't think Tanner's a great AD by any stretch of the imagination, but as long as Ray is not the main one making this coaching hire, which from things I've heard he will not be, you know, whatever. I can live with him still being in that AD role. Phil Carter-Harris, I don't give a damn if it's Bear Bryant's ghost. If in year 4 and 5 the results are the same as Muschamp era, then the next guy needs to get fired too. I don't have 10 years of patience for any coach. Yeah, obviously I'm over-exaggerating a little bit, but I think you understand the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, I was over-exaggerating just a touch, but I'm just saying, like, sure, I'll be a little more lenient with a guy that is truly building South Carolina and, you know, getting his feet in the dirt and establishing himself as his own. But for the guy like Muschamp, who already failed at another school, what else do you need to see? You know what I mean? What else is there? You know? So. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments. Like I said, 15 minutes, 843-790-3377. The time is flying here on a Friday. Time is flying, which is good. Time flies when you're having fun. So. Let's see. Andrew Bowers, if Muschamp gets fired, okay, let's see. This is a tongue twister. If Muschamp gets fired, does and we hire Billy Napier, Chadwell, whoever does Bobo stay? Bro, that is a hell of a sentence, Andrew. Does T-Rob stay or new staff comes along with the new coach? Yeah, I think they'll clean house. I think the new coach will bring in an entire new staff. The only guy that maybe would have a chance to stay on is Bobo. I'd rather just start fresh and start anew, though. I really would. Jaden Harris, when Sunday comes, South Carolina fans going to be popping champagne and smoking cigars after Muschamp gets fired. Bro, and what I don't mean to toot my own horn or whatever, blow myself up, but I just know when that does happen, when it comes out breaking Will Muschamp is going to be fired, people are going to be tuned in to see what my reaction is. That's just going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's just going to be wild, really. Josh Devine, appreciate the love, man. Really appreciate you guys tuning in for sure. Tilly Salt, how do you feel about the 2021-2022 schedule? Are we talking for football or what are we talking? Andy Brower's autocorrect is stupid. No, you're good. You're good. I was just giving you crap. Yeah, it's who knows, man. Lose to I mean, if you lose to Ole Miss and they go the spread, I mean, who knows when it'll happen, man. RJ, Bobo's offense is out of date. We need to be running a current era offense. I mean, I do agree with you. I think you need to run spread. I think you need to have a mobile quarterback, a dual threat quarterback. I think for the in the long haul, if you're going to win big at South Carolina, that's what you need to be doing. Selly, so I really have not gotten a chance to look at the 2021 schedule. I know there's some interesting non-conference games, but haven't really got a chance to dive into it yet. So. Let's see. Stilly Salt, also love the stuff, man. Got to run. Hope you have a good show. Spurs up. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate the support, man. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Appreciate it. Seriously. Phil Carter Harris would love to avoid any current or former Tater coach. If you've ever worn that ugly orange, I don't want you here. I mean, listen, I totally get it. I understand. It'd be weird. It'd be very interesting, but I'm not going to let that stop me from. I mean, hell, Clemson brought on Brad Scott. I know he's not the head coach, but damn, he's a coach there. So I mean, it's not, and it'd be a lot different if Napier was still at Clemson and we were pulling him away from it. But I can get over it. I can get over it. Let's see. Josh Devaney, do you think we get a few drives with Luke Doty? I hope so. I want to see Luke play. I know we all want to see Luke play. We all want to see Luke play. I certainly hope so. Michael Cavalier, 9 wins. It should be the floor every year. I'd love to get to that point. I really would. Greg Bedinger, did you figure out what the virtual stuff is for basketball season? Yes. So, kind of. Yeah. It's like a virtual package, whatever. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I probably will not be getting it, but it is interesting, say the least. So I hope you would like to go to some games. I don't know what the tickets will be like, but, Jacob says, I like Luke Doty paired with Napier. Yeah, I mean, again, I know he was at Clemson, whatever, but the guy's, what he's done since really speaks to, I think, the type of coach he is. So, guys, anything over Muschamp's an upgrade. I mean, I just, there's not many guys we could hire right now that I would truly upset about. You know what I mean? So, RJ, I don't care where the coach is from as long as they win. I don't hate Clemson enough to not want a successful coach for us. Yeah, bottom line, I'm kind of the same way. So, And Napier fits he checks all the boxes for me. Young, offensive-minded coach, aggressive coach, has won his previous stop. He's taken lesser talent and won with it, gotten the most out of it. I like that. I like those characteristics. I like those traits from my next head coach. So, just my opinion. I'm not saying we're all going to agree, when the next head coach is hired. But, man, I'm going to have so much perspective in the sense, man, at least it's not Will Muschamp. Thank God. Thank God it's over. You guys taking your questions, comments, calls here on a Friday. I've got 41-27 Ole Miss, guys. Would love to hear your predictions, your thoughts on the game. How are you feeling as the Gamecocks? Are we 30 hours away from kickoff? South Carolina taking on the Ole Miss Rebels tomorrow night in Oxford. How you guys feel? Roger Rain says, Muschamp one more year. Boy, that is an unpopular opinion right now. I tell you that. I give you kudos for sticking to it, but, man, that is an unpopular opinion. That is for sure. Roger, will you feel the same if Ole Miss beats South Carolina tomorrow? I'm curious. Because I think at this point, everyone has a breaking point. If you're not there yet, you're damn close. If you're not there yet, you're damn close. RJ says Clemson, Troy, East Carolina, and Eastern Illinois for next year's out-of-conference schedule. That's weird. Eastern Illinois is a weird one. Hold up. What just happened? Did the ball move? Oh, something flew on. Jaden Harris. God just spoke to me saying South Carolina will get their ass whooped, but Muschamp will be fired, and I'm fine with that. You have a interesting relationship with God, that's for sure. Yeah. Andrew Bowers, I think it's an offensive battle. He says he's taking the Cox 41-40. Hey, from your lips to God's ears, my friend. From your lips to God's ears. Why not? Love to see it. Love to hear it, my guy. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Again, guys, we have about 6.5 minutes left or so. 6.5 minutes left. Taking your questions, comments, calls. Who's watching the Masters this weekend? I know I am. Anybody else a big golf fan? Anybody else got any big weekend plans? That's not the Carolina game. I'm actually very excited. I'm going to a Friendsgiving tonight. Very pumped for that. Gonna eat some really, really good food. So very, very pumped for that. But and then Sunday, watch the Masters. We got a great weekend planned. Definitely watching the Masters. So, who are you guys pulling for in the Masters? It looks like DJ obviously is playing really well. He's tearing it up, tie for the lead. Phil Harris, I kind of want to pick us in this game too. I don't know why, just an invisible force pushing me that way. Maybe I should put money on it on DraftKings. Hey, man, be my guest. Like I said, be my guest. You're more than welcome to. You can do it. I don't see it, but you can do it. Whew. So, again, guys, got about 5 minutes. Taking your questions, comments, calls. We'll wrap it up here on a Friday. Like I said, if you have not checked out the podcast, episode 317. 317, dude. I feel like it's going to be so absurd when we're at some point, we're going to be like, episode 894. Like, does the count ever restart? You know what I mean? Like, should I ever just restart the count? I mean, nah. Yeah, episode 317, though, dropped this morning. Prediction for tomorrow's game. Again, I've got 41-27 Ole Miss, but I definitely go into detail, expand on the prediction, why I think it's going to happen. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to do so. Also, again, another quick reminder, watch party tomorrow night at Overtime Bar and Grill. Doors actually open at 11. Doors open at 11. So if you guys do want to come out, watch some football, you're more than welcome. Pre-game show right here, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. 6:30 to 7, kickoff at 7:30. And Justin Thomas just made a double bogey on number 1. My God. Yeah, so again, if you guys are in the city, you need a spot to watch the game, come on out. Should be a really, really good time. So stop the count. Phil Carter here. Head to Providence, Rhode Island for vegan food and vegan ice cream on Saturday before the game. And then it's all Sam Adams back to the house. Hey, thank God beer's vegan, right? Thank God beer is vegan. Would be tough if it wasn't. Andrew Bauer says he's taking Jack Nicklaus to win the Masters. Great pick. That's an awesome pick. So, again, guys, I've got 41-27 Ole Miss. I just think you look at this game, and I hate the matchup for South Carolina. And, I think South Carolina should be able to get something going offensively for sure. You would certainly hope so and think so, with how bad Ole Miss is defensively. You know what I mean? How bad Ole Miss is defensively, you'd think they'd be able to get something going, but does South Carolina have the horses to keep up with Ole Miss? Because Ole Miss is going to score. I mean, there's just no question. Ole Miss is going to score. They're going to score often. They're going to rack up a ton of yards. Can the Gamecocks shorten the game with Kevin Harris and keep Ole Miss's offense off the field? Can they do it? I think that'll be a huge point of emphasis. And also, South Carolina win in the red zone. Like I said, can you limit them to field goals instead of touchdowns? That will give you a chance as well. But I just don't think South Carolina is going to have the horses to keep up. I think Ole Miss will outlast South Carolina. I think they'll get the win 41-27. So hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Hope the Gamecocks get the W. But, as of right now, I can't help pick anything but Ole Miss getting a win in that fashion. I can't. I just can't do it. So just cannot do it, guys. Puff, what is going on? You're joining on the tail end. About to close it up here. About to close up shop on Friday. Go into the weekend. Have us a good old time. Have us a good old time. RJ, Ole Miss's offense is going to be too much for us in the end, I believe, but I think they put up a decent fight, keeping it close into the third quarter. Yeah, I mean, I would expect this team to scratch, claw, and fight. I really would. I would expect this team to scratch, claw, and fight. I find it hard to believe it will be enough in the end. I do. I find it hard to believe. So, I'd love to be wrong, like I said. But again, it's like I've been saying last week, either cheers to a Gamecock victory or getting one step closer to a new head coach. So take your pick. Whatever. So like I said, guys, got about a minute and a half left here in closing. Again, thank you guys. Really, seriously, I don't say it enough, I feel like. But thank you guys seriously for the love, support to everyone that consumes the content, that shares the content, that shows love to the content anyway, tunes into the podcast. Thank you so much. Because without you, none of this, none of what we get to do, none of the Spurs Up show, none of it would be possible. I mean, honestly, none of it. So thank you so much to you guys for, continuing to support. I know it's been a rough season for all of us, but you guys have been there through thick and thin every step of the way. So again, thank you so much for the love, support, for everything you guys do in regards to that. I'm very happy and feel blessed to say that things, despite the way that 2020 has gone, despite the way the season has gone, but especially despite the way things in 2020 have gone, the business is doing well right now. So it's not without you guys. So I thank you so much again. Quick reminder, like I said, again, if you have not done so, episode 317 dropped this morning. If you guys want to check out the podcast, watch party tomorrow at Overtime Bar and Grill. Kickoff at 7:30. Pregame show right here. Game show right here from 6:30 to 7, guys. Again, thank you so much for the love, support. We will do it all week again next week, noon to 1, Monday through Friday. Pregame show 6:30 to 7 tomorrow night, guys. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Go Cox. beat Ole Miss. Let's find a way to get the W. We will talk to you tomorrow in the pregame show. Have a good one.